These are the most secure places on Earth. ADX Florence. ADX stands for Administrative Maximum Facility. In other words, you're screwed. This fortress is a supermax prison in Colorado, and the thing that makes it so secure is not the fact that you can't get in, but that you can't get out. Sporting such notable inmates as the shoe bomber guy, the underwear bomber guy, Dzhokhar Tsarnaev, Ted Kaczynski, and last but not least, Thomas Silverstein, the crazy Aryan Brotherhood gang leader, who many sources claim was the inspiration for supermax prisons in the first place. You can see how not even El Chapo would be able to hustle his way out of here. The Svalbard Global Seed Vault. You might have seen this location on hundreds of YouTube thumbnails. Because of the outside looks of this vault, people always assume that it's storing the Holy Grail and baby dinosaurs. But the truth is a little less exciting. This vault is a secure seed bank located far, far away in the distant lands of Svalbard, Norway. People from all over the world can send their seeds there for safekeeping. No, not that kind of seeds. The facility does have security all around the inside, and it is hidden under 390 feet of permafrost. So to get inside or do any actual damage to it would be extremely hard, but you can kind of trespass on the outside. The Federal Reserve Bank of New York. Great, another bank on the list. How much gold are these guys protecting? 6,350 tons, or about 508,000 gold bars. If you still aren't getting it, the Federal Reserve Bank of New York is the largest depository of gold in the world, according to them. The security of this place is above top-notch, and the main attraction has to be the one and only entrance. It sports a 90-ton steel cylinder that is set within a 140-ton steel and concrete frame, and it is air and water tight when shut. And believe it or not, this is just the basement of the bank. Upstairs, in the hustle and bustle of Manhattan's financial district, the Federal Reserve is responsible for transferring up to $1.8 trillion in funds every single day. The Switch SuperNAP 7. What do DreamWorks, eBay, Intel, Sony, and JP Morgan Chase have in common? They all use Switch as their primary source for data storage, telecommunications, and cloud services. The name of their data centers is SuperNAP, and it has nothing to do with being tired, trust me. These facilities are huge, protected by armed ex-military guards, and surrounded by enough concrete to stop a tank. They are also certified Tier 4, which is the highest it can get, and there are less than 10 locations in the USA that can measure up. As the company explained, Tier 4 data centers are for those companies that know the cost of a disruption of service in actual dollars. To top it all off, the facility has a great 4.6 out of 5 rating on Google. The United States Bullion Depository. The main depository for gold bullion in the United States is located on the corner of Bullion Boulevard and Gold Vault Road. This facility sports a state-of-the-art, at least for 1935, 25-inch thick, 20-ton vault doors that can only be opened by a few people with separate combinations. Stepping outside of the building, the location is protected by big fences and the United States Mint Police. Yes, seriously, Mint Police. As if that wasn't enough, the depository is inside the Army post known as Fort Knox. So what is all this security about? Well, the depository is home to 4,582 tons of gold. Pretty expensive. And from what I hear on the conspiracy networks, there's none of it left. So it's just a big empty building now. The Iron Mountain facility in Pennsylvania. Ah, the famous Iron Mountain complex. The place that Bill Gates trusts with his antique collection, and the place the US government trusts with all their personnel files. Original recordings of Frank Sinatra, Elvis Presley, and Michael Jackson also find a home here. Funny side story, the man responsible for the creation of this super secure fortress of priceless information bought the land so he can grow mushrooms on it. But by the 1950s, the mushroom market was totally not worth it anymore, and thus Iron Mountain was born. And judging by the name, it was the primary inspiration for Steel Mountain in the I Am Robot show on USA. Or was it Mr. Robot? Granite Mountain Mormon Church Records Facility. Not too far from Salt Lake City, Utah, you can stumble upon the Granite Mountain Mormon Church Records Facility. The name pretty much says it all. The vault is located 600 feet deep inside the mountain, and it is used to store data on all members of the church, all dealings of the church, and in total, there is about 3 billion pages of family history records. And actually, that's about it. The data is publicly accessible through websites like FamilySearch.org. This place is always featured on similar lists as a nefarious location that is patrolled by ex-CIA and military officers 24/7. But it doesn't seem to be that way. They just have kind of fences. The Vatican Secret Archives. When the name Secret Archives came about, it was used in a much different way than it is nowadays. It noted that whatever was in the vault was private more so than confidential. Regardless, many people have strong opinions about what the Vatican Church is hiding from the public. And with 53 miles of shelving and thousands upon thousands of volumes, it is easy to imagine that there is some very important and maybe nefarious information in there. So it is worth noting that the vaults are extremely exclusive, and there are sections that are completely closed off to anyone but the Pope. Maybe Tom Hanks can shed some more light on the subject with this new movie. The Bahnhof Bunker. Bahnhof is a company that provides many internet services, including data storage and protection. Their most famous location is in Stockholm, Sweden. The facility was originally used for civil defense and protection from a nuclear strike. Nowadays, it looks like something out of a James Bond film. Pioneer has insane amounts of server space for rent, and it sells it to many different companies. The most notorious of them being WikiLeaks. Yes, Julian Assange decided that this was a safe enough place for him to store some of the most controversial and classified data in the world. By the way, this facility can survive a hydrogen bomb strike, and if the electricity ever shuts off, they have 2 submarine engines that are used as emergency generators. Cheyenne Mountain. The Cheyenne Mountain Complex has a long and colorful history of being one of the most important mountains in the world. When it housed the NORAD, or North American Aerospace Defense Command, and the United States Space Command Centers, it was considered to be impenetrable. There are multiple chambers and levels of security. The complex has its own power plant, water supply, and heating and cooling systems. And all the systems have a 99.999 degree reliability. If that wasn't enough, the main chambers are built under 2,000 feet of granite. All the buildings inside are protected from earthquakes and explosions by giant springs, and the facility can even sustain an EMP attack. Okay, so what? EMPs are nothing compared to nukes, right? Well, the absolutely massive 25-ton blast doors can protect the facility from a 30 megaton nuclear explosion as close as 1.2 miles away. Just for reference, the monster bombs that were dropped on the Hiroshima and Nagasaki were a measly 1.5 kilotons.